Ahoy, welcome back, peace and blessings. 42 Divine Principles of my yacht, number 19. I have not falsely accused anyone. I just want to start this video saying that you have to remember our code. Right now we are under a code of silence. Silence is key. We're supposed to be minding our own business, focused on our own growth, our own ascension, our own problems, our own pockets, our own partners, ourselves. We don't really have time to be focusing on other people. To accuse someone in the first place, there has to be another person, someone worth accusing, someone who's not you or your family, your friends, your group, your tribe, someone who's not us. Even if it was someone who was a part of us, people trade, there's traitors, there's people who betray, even if it was one of us, but it would have to be someone else. It's like, why are you around people who you can accuse of things? Why are people around you who would ever even think about accusing you of something? Just watch the company you keep. Misery loves company. I don't really want any more friends. I barely want any more lovers, I was having this deep conversation with a family member. I'm like, I have a long history of friends, I've been making friends since I was probably like 4 years old or something. Most friends don't stick around. 1% of the people you meet will stick around. So it's like, what's the point of meeting 100 people when only one of them will stick around? And we're just friends, I'd rather have business partners. I'd rather have customers. I'd rather have 100 customers than 100 friends. It's a real game. Now I'm just in this position, I have a very small channel. I can say whatever I want. I'm gonna give y'all a real game. Once thousands of people, millions of people are watching, people, get PR training. They can't say certain things. People start looking at them different, I can say whatever I want, So these are gonna be some real videos. I give great service. I give great service. One of my customers is not gonna accuse me of anything. They can bring to me a problem and it'll get fixed, and that's that. They'll be compensated. One of my customers is not gonna say like I'll scam them or I gave them a bad product or my product didn't help them. This wasn't the best product ever. They're gonna enjoy the product. They bought it, right? They trusted me. I'm gonna make sure it's right. I'll make sure it gets to them, and etc. etc. There's no point accusing someone in business, we have receipts. So the only people who really accuse people are friends, so-called friends, wolves in sheep's clothes, enemies, right? People you shouldn't be around. That's really it, or just complete strangers. I've had complete strangers accuse me of things. How that works, like I don't even know that this person didn't even exist to me, in my world, and they're accusing. That's just on a very physical level, Just focus on yourself, focus on your business. People can accuse you of things, Try to find your life partner, your husband, your wife. All these girls, all these little boys out here will accuse you of things, falsely accuse you. Like most of these principles, in the physical realm, they don't apply too much, That spiritual connection that enhances the principle, that makes it apply, Because we are living in a very spiritual realm. But spiritually, you cannot falsely accuse anyone because, I can say someone cursed me, right? I can have no proof. I cannot even know this person. Just a complete stranger on the street. If I feel that energy, like this person has a demon on them or something, or a really negative entity who is not one of us who's attacking me, just annoying me, I can accuse them and like, hey man, you cursing me right now. Like you got this weird thing going on, bro or girl. And in my reality, that could be true. In their reality, it could be false. In their reality, they could have just got baptized. They could have been meditating. They could have been eating right. They could have been staying away from drugs. They could have been working out. They could have been working overtime. They could be doing all the right things. They could be on a very high spiritual path. They could be better in their life. They could be raising their energy every day. But in my world, I'm like, I feel very negative towards you for some reason. I don't accuse anyone, but I can feel that way about things. Things can appear as they are not. It's not a false accusation. I can feel like, man, this girl's in love with me. She might never hit me up, but for some reason, I'm feeling that way, As men, it's important not to get stuck in our feelings, Even if this principle is true, we're still men. We should not be stuck in our feelings, We should focus on concrete things, in my opinion. We should focus on the physical reality. That might just be the earth sign in me, but that is always concrete and that's true. And it's proof of that. It's a whole lot of positive things, in the physical world. I can feel like, this girl is attracted to me, And that wouldn't be a false accusation, This girl might not even know I exist, might not know my name, might not know anything about me, right? But internally, I feel that way. Or I could feel like, oh, this girl hates me or something. Or this person's racist, this person's an idiot, this person's God, this person's the devil, this person is me. You can accuse people of a bunch of different things. You can explore these multi-dimensions, these higher and lower dimensions that are not the physical realm. In all those ways, all those things can be true because it affected your soul, affected your spirit, it affected your body, it affected your life. Even if it was just for a couple of seconds, you know. Ultimately, that time is permanent. It doesn't go away. When we're looking at our book of life, we're looking at all the things we've done. You know, like at the end of Grand Theft Auto, they show you all your stats, how many people you've unalived, how many times you've been unalived, how many cars you stole, how many like miles you've ran, all that information. When we're looking at that for our own lives, these accusations most of the time will be true. You can fight yourself. You can fight your intrusive thoughts. You know, that's another word for it. We'll be fighting forever. You know, you can't ultimately control everything about you. You can't control everything about your body. This is a plain fact. This is why I focus on the physical realm more than the spiritual realm as much as I can. You know, God just wants me here for some reason, you know. But, you know, if we could control our physical bodies, we could go to sleep, you know, in a blink. We could, right, you know, increase our energy. You know, we're sleepy. We still got 4 more hours of work to do. We could just tell our bodies not to be sleepy. You know, if we wanted to be taller or shorter or skinnier, fatter, more muscles, we could just, you know, shapeshift our bodies, but we can't do that. You know, if you're blind, if you're crippled, you're handicapped, and you just wanted these things to go away, you wanted your, you know, hands to grow back, your feet to grow back, your bones to grow 2 inches or something, we could just do that. In the same way we can't do that, we can't control our brains, our intrusive thoughts, our emotions, and these are where the accusations come from. You know, because you're not in control fully of the entire reality. You know, there's higher spirits, there's God, there's other things that's in your control or that's out of your control. You know, the government, the weather, you know, it's very simple. You know, there's like spiritual teachers like back in the day used to always say like, oh, we're in control of everything. And I get that. We can tap into those realities. We definitely can. We can control the weather. We can tell our bodies to do things. We can heal each other, you know, but it takes a whole lot of energy. You know, it takes a whole lot, more than a lifetime worth, to be doing that high level magic like that in a physical body. Because, you know, like even in the book they'll say like the sins of the flesh. To try to do something completely divine in an undivine vehicle, you know, in an evil vehicle, it is very hard to do. It's not impossible. You know, I've stepped into these realities where, oh, I'm God, I'm the devil, I'm an angel, we're all the same, everyone on earth is the same. You know, all these things change, but the physical world will always stay the same. This is why I focus on the physical world. You know, but we can tap into these high vibrational things, these high spirited things. But again, we are like handicapped, you know. We have duties that spirits without bodies don't have. You know, we have connections that spirits without bodies don't have. You know, it's not a good or a bad thing. It's just the state that we're in right now. It's like spirits can travel across the world and immediately, you get what I mean? Omnipresence and things of that nature. We have to get on planes, right? Here from the future. About to make the next video, but again, I forgot my outro. One day I'll take this more serious, you know. But, you know, ultimately, you have not accused anyone. 'Cause accusing is putting the blame on someone or something, right? Blaming someone for something. But you have to realize that people do not move as themselves very frequently. You know, you could say, for instance, you could blame me for doing something, or you could blame someone else for doing something, right? But you don't know if that person truly did it, you know? You don't know if that person's spirit was involved, if they were high-spirited while they were doing it, you know? You don't know if that person was possessed while they were doing it. You don't know if that person was depressed. You know, if that person was going through mental troubles. You don't know if that person was moving with the spirit of God, you know? You could be blaming someone for something that they didn't even do. They could have been being controlled by God. They could have been being controlled by an angel, you know? They could have been being controlled by a demon or a lesser spirit, you know, a malevolent spirit, and you're going to blame them. But in that moment, they truly weren't themselves, you know? You never know what someone's doing, you know? Like, even You know, even in a positive aspect or negative aspect, it could be either way. Like someone could say, oh, like this guy is making these videos, right? It's like, yes, I'm making these videos, but I'm moving completely with the power of God, you know? Like, my own power is an illusion in this realm, really. Like, I was supposed to have been died a bunch of different times, you know? I'm only still here because God allows me to be here, you know? So I'm moving in His grace a lot of times, you know, 99% of the time I'm moving in His grace, you know? And other times I could have been, you know, dealing with my mental illnesses and things. They could say, he did this, but I was literally not even in control of my own body, you know, like on everything I love, I was not even in control of my body, you know, doing things I would never do, saying things I never say, you know. You never know someone's like possession is very heavy in this realm, you know. Most people don't see it. Possession is very, very heavy, you know. God possesses people the most. People don't talk about that. God herself possesses people to do things, you know. There's always like coincidence and karma or luck. You know, people could just go to this random location like, hey, I'm just going to go here. You know, something's calling me to go there. People can get called to do something, and now you're accusing them or blaming them, but they truly didn't really do it. They didn't plan that out. You know, they're just going with the wind, going with the flow. You know, we could be having a conversation, and you could say, oh, this conversation is very negative, right? You're blaming me for a bad conversation, but you know, you don't know, maybe. You don't know what's the entire. It's really just taking on the entire responsibility of the world. You know, you're putting the responsibility of a fraction of time onto a single individual when we should be looking at everything. You know, we don't know everything that led up to that moment. People could be moving in the spirit of their ancestors. People could be moving in the spirit of their father or their mother or their brother. You know, people could just be peer pressured, moving like their friend, and now you're gonna blame this person who has legs and feet who are doing this action, but they were truly not even in control of this action. They could have been drunk. They could have even been sober. You know, oxygen is intoxicating. You know, like scientists will say that oxygen is intoxicating. We're all not sober now, you know, because we're breathing in this oxygen. You know, there's a bunch of pollutants, all kind of things in the air. Just breathing in this air, we have to force ourselves to be more disciplined. You know, people think, why is it so hard to be disciplined? But even if you're completely sober, give up all drugs, you know. You have to give up so much, all distractions. You have to do a whole lot to truly purify yourselves. But then the air is even toxic. You know, where are you going to go get some fresh air from? You could go plant a bunch of plants in your house, you know, but it's always diluted. You know, our energy is always diluted. So we're going to blame something. Say you blame it on me, you know. But my energy has been diluted a bunch, you know. Like, I'm just, you know, moving accordingly. Remember, you can't truly accuse anyone. You never know who that person really is. You know, people don't even know themselves, but you're gonna blame. You know, how are you gonna blame someone who doesn't even know themselves? They're being used by other higher spirits, etc. They don't even know. They could be getting used by lower spirits. They don't even know. You know, they could be getting moved by just the location where they are. You know, spirits in that location. So try not to blame anyone. You know, stick to your code of silence. Stick to yourself very first. Stick to God. You know, make some money. Stick to your art. Stick to your passions, your hobbies. You know, try to escape, become stable, secure. But everything else is diluted. You know, that energy is diluted. You know, you bring your true self to someone, you can't guarantee they're going to bring their true self to you. You know. Like, people are just weird. People have anxiety. People are not sober, you know. Just ultimately, that's how they move, you know. Like, there's people who can be on millions of different drugs, you know, and they act more sober than someone who's completely sober. Just, they have more control of their mind and their space. They're more aware of higher spirits and their soul, you know, just of the entire reality. These people are only aware of this, and they think this is supposed to happen, and if this doesn't happen, they're going to wild out, right? Like, it's supposed to happen this way, when we all know like the whole universe is going with the flow. You know, the earth is just following the sun, just going with it's just the wind. You know, we're getting pushed around by the wind, right? So people can accuse you of being aggressive and all these things. and you could be feeling super great. You could be the happiest you've ever been, you know, the happiest you've been in months. And people are going to still find something wrong with you. So people are still going to accuse you of something. So don't listen to people who are accusing you of things, you know. They just aren't on the same energy, the same wave as you. You know, like the other day, I was asking my friend if he wanted to smoke and stuff. And people like sitting at his table acting like they can't hear me, you know, like I'm just some random guy. I mean, I guess to them I am just some random guy, you know, I'm just a man. But I'm like, okay, like I'm just go smoke by myself, right? Very simple, like. But then they're like, oh, come back over here, come back over here. I'm like, you know, I start speaking up like I'm a lion. Like, people don't like when you talk this way, but then when you talk this way, it's like a problem. But it's not a problem, you know. Like, you said you can't hear, so I'm talking louder. Now, you know, people will create problems, you know, because people love accusing. You know, people will love accusing you of stuff. Be wary of people. People will love accusing you of stuff, you know. You come with the nicest energy. You know, I didn't want anything from them. Right? I was just gonna, I mean, I guess I did. I just wanted to smoke with them. You know, I didn't want anything with them, though. I was just gonna spend 2 minutes with them, you know, go back doing what I was doing. You know, I just saw them out in the open, like, okay, you know, this is what I was about to go do anyway, but my friend's here, you want to come join me, and I guess you guys are his friends, you guys can come join us, right? But they're acting like I'm not a whole lion out here, you know what I'm saying? Acting like I'm not a dog out here, like, I can get very loud. You talking about you can't hear me because you're in front of your women. It's like, clean your ears, bro. Like, what's up with you, bro? You know? That's neither here or there, though. People accuse me of all kind of stuff, and that's just the nature of spirits. You should never accuse a high spirit of anything, because, one, we're shapeshifters, you know? One minute I could be a dog. You know, I'm always a dog. One minute I could be a lion. You know, I'm a lion. I got lion energy. One minute I could be a dragon. One minute I could be a snake. One minute I could be a man. One minute I could be a girl. One minute I could be a bird. You know, one minute I could just be the earth. One minute I could be nothing. One minute I could be very soft, very, you know, soft-spoken. Next minute I could be the loudest person in the room. You know, it's like people will accuse you. They call it first impressions, but they're really just accusing you. You know, as soon as they see you, like, oh, this guy works this job, this guy. You know, that's why it's important to like look poor and stuff like that. You know, you don't want people just vamping on your energy, right? I'm like, bro, like I'm richer than all y'all. What are y'all talking about? Like, you can't hear me? Like, I make punk music, bro. I scream. Like, I can scream, bro. If you can't hear me, for real. You don't think I'm speaking up? This is my normal voice. There's people who talk way lower than I talk. But that's neither here nor there, you know? Just remember, you have not accused anyone. You don't truly know anyone. You know, you're still trying to figure out yourself. That's why I'm making these videos. I just want you to know more about yourself. You're still trying to figure out yourself. So don't accuse anyone of anything. Things can change. People's stories can flip. It's also based on memory. You know, people's memory can, like, people can just forget, you know, things can get erased out of their memory. They'll just make up a whole nother story. So don't be out here accusing people, you know. Don't be worried about people accusing you. You feel me? We're all just sharing the same space. But I love y'all. Peace and blessings. Till next time.